Duck and cover, duck and cover, duck and cover, duck and cover. One more time on the leash and she'll leave you for another.
And he's off. And coming from the #1 fishing port in America, here's PaulSantos.
Welcome to the PaulSantos Show. This is the place we highlight the talented, the interesting, and the entertaining. And our guest tonight is all three of them. He is a children's book author. It is Mr. Ed Pacheco.
Go ahead.
Yes, he wrote a great book called Little Lamb Shenanigans. We're going to learn all about that.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the sidekick of the century, the co-host with cachet. He is also the superlicious, smoothalicious Mr. Chops Turner is in the house tonight.
Hey, man, where'd you get that?
Oh, yeah, baby. All right, before we get to our guests, we got to do our opening monologue and get caught up in the news. Oh, wait a minute, Chops. Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. I'm just thinking, right? We have a children's book author here, so I don't know if I can use a lot of my adult. Wait a minute.
No, you can't use
that one's no good. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How about this one over? No. How about this? Oh, I know, Chops.
I'll block my ears, I promise.
No. I have an idea. I'll try to do like more kids humor. For example, you know the old knock stuff there. Here we go, Chops. Knock.
Who's there?
Anita.
Anita who?
I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
I like that. That was good, man.
All right. No. I got some other news that I think is important to the kids. You know, schools are back in session in many communities physically this week. They're not virtual. They're back to physical. And, you know, I actually saw a kid going to school this morning. So I was like, hey, man, how did school go today? He goes, you know, I got a 100, 50 in science, 50 in math. All right. But then I said to the kid, you know, last week Chops was teaching me all of this like cool language, you know. So I said, hey, check out my gear. Look at my gear right here, man. I look awesome in my gear. I said, what kind of sentence is that? It's past tense, very past tense.
You crazy, man.
Yeah, you know, maybe I should go back to the knock stuff. Knock.
Who's there?
Your mama.
Mama who? I don't even know who she is.
Your mama went out with me last night.
That was good, man.
I'm sorry, Chops. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I like that. That was cool.
Well, I know. There's some good news. I want to get some good news in here, Chops. You know, South Coast Rail, right? They've been talking about the South Coast Rail for years. $825 million has been set aside for this South Coast Rail. Now, you know, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you'll be able to take the train to Boston. The bad news is you're going to have to pay in the caboose.
The old caboose.
Look out for Choo Choo Charlie. Here he comes. Look out.
Here I come.
Knock.
Who's there?
Nana.
Nana who?
None of your business. All right, that's enough of that. Hey, Chops, you wore the mullet back in the day, right? You know that haircut, the mullet? Did you have a mullet?
No, sir.
Oh, come on, man. I thought you had a mullet. Well, the mullet is making...
I got one now. Maybe this is a mullet.
No, I don't know. I think, you know, when people get older, they want to bring back the mullet that they wore in their youth. But a lot of times the the mullet as an older person doesn't quite look the same, you know, as it did back in the day.
Oh no!
Oh, actually, you know what that is? That's a haircut. That's a haircut called the skullet. And I'm not kidding. That's Benjamin Butler in 1870, and it was called the skullet. And then, like 100 years after that, in the 1990s, they brought in the mullet. Was actually a form of the skullet. You know, see, this is an educational. This is an educational show here tonight, Chops.
It sure is.
We have a gentleman tonight who wrote a book and he can sing. And the name of the book is called Little Lamb Shenanigans, and he was inspired to write it, raising his own family. Once again, Mr. Ed Pacheco. Ed, how are you tonight, sir?
Hey! You know, I'm a big Sinatra fan, and actually a song of his came to mind while I was watching your monologue. It's a little something like this. Regrets, I have a few. And one of them is listening to that monologue. Oh, my God. You know, I am going to fire my booking agent because he told me distinctly that I was going to be on Jimmy Fallon. And when I found out after what was going on with this this monologue, I texted him, and he's like, no. I said the show is nothing like Jimmy Fallon. It's a little Mickey Mouse operation. So he told me to put these on. But, wow.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I love, you know, you guys get some good stuff, you know. Chops is just amazing. He's been amazing for like 300 years.
Yeah.
I think he serenaded like one of the presidents at the first inaugurations. He's spot on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And if you didn't get a chance to catch the show last week, he was our guest, so it was great. You know,
it was a twofer.
Yeah, you see, hey, Chops, he actually brought down like Mickey Mouse ears for our show. Imagine that. Isn't that great?
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, I want to find out.
This is what happens when you're standing on the street corner downtown trying to cross the street, and somebody says, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And this is where you'll end up. So if somebody says that to you, you might want to think twice before you answer. I got to do my nails. I got to do my hair. Something, anything. Just...
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, you wrote this great book, and you're inspired to write it. Now, you told me that you had this this melody in your head kind of thing. How did that all happen?
So I am the proud dad of 4 daughters from my first marriage, and I have 2 bonus daughters from my second marriage. And during my first marriage, I would usually put the kids to bed at night, and I always had this thing about making sure that the kids went to bed happy. You know, a lot of kids when they're little, they don't like going to bed for one reason or another. They feel like they're missing out on something that somebody else is doing, or there's, you know, monsters in the closet or whatever the story is. So I came up with this song that I would sing to my children to kind of help them settle into the routine, and it would raise hell, to be perfectly honest. But they enjoyed it, and they look forward to going to bed at night. And over the time, I said, I really should come up with some kind of story around this, because I thought it would be a lot of fun. So I start, writing down little scraps of paper here and there, and I put it away. And then next thing you know, I turn around and there'd be another kid there. And then, work happens, life happens, there's another kid. And, a couple of years ago, my youngest daughter graduated from elementary school, and it put me into like this pre-empty nest mode where I was kind of freaking out a bit. My oldest daughter is 24. She's actually getting married next month. And I'm like, I really got to do something with this story. So this was about 2 years ago. And so I finished the story, and then I started looking for an illustrator to work with, which was really hard because I had all these great envisionments of what my characters looked like, but trying to find somebody that could get those down on paper for me just wasn't happening. So I found this one illustrator who I really, really, really liked. but she wasn't available. She couldn't work with, on the project at that point. She was already up to her elbows in projects. And I said, I'm not going to just hire somebody for the sake of hiring this. I've waited 20 years. I can wait until I find the right illustrator to make sure that we get this done the way I want to. So I sat on it. And then COVID hit, which is one of the small silver linings of the project for me. Because I sent her an email and I said, hey, just checking in, wanted to see how you were doing. And she said, that's really amazing because I was actually thinking about you and your project. Did you ever find somebody to work with? And I said, no. I sat on it after we had spoken and, we started talking and she said, I'm going to send you some sketches about what I see your translation of the characters. And she nailed it, just completely nailed it. And we went back and forth via email for about 10 months on all of the illustrations in this book. And it's just, it was serendipity. It really was. And the images that you see in the book are just, they're spot on. They're perfect. The main character is this young lady behind me. Her name is Jenna Marie. She is the embodiment of what I would say a little bit of good of all of my daughters. There's something about every one of my daughters that is in her persona. And I'm fortunate because I have a lot of material to work with all of the daughters that I have. So, I was very fortunate. It just, when it happened right. And I love the end product.
Well, that's great. You have a lot of satisfaction having had this idea come together and to actually put it together in print and everything. Must be a great feeling of accomplishment. But one of the things that's interesting about this is that you had this melody and you eventually put the words to the melody. How did that happen? And can you give us a sample of the song? Because I really want to hear this song,
You think you want to hear the song until I actually start singing. There's only been 4 people in history that have heard this song, and none of them have had permanent hearing damage. The nice thing about the song is when I wrote the lyrics, let's just say I'm not a chops turner, okay? But when I wrote the lyrics, it was meant to entertain. And I never wrote an actual melody to go with it, because when I was writing the book, I have no musical talent at all. You could give me a large bucket and I still wouldn't be able to carry a tune. But I left it purposely without a formal melody because I wanted to leave it open to interpretation for the reader. Because every mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, uncle, auntie, all have their own idea of how they should sing it. And I'm fine with that. This isn't like a copyrighted song in terms of melody. The words I own. And I will sue you if you try and reproduce them. So if I hear a Chops Turner album with the Little Lamb song in it, we're going to have a conversation sideline. But I will sing it for you. And
I'm glad. You know why? Because I'm not the only one that wants to hear it. I got people in the audience here. Kerry Baleo Miller is like, come on, Ed, sing. I can't wait. We got somebody here. Let me see. Kelly Clasby. He's like, I want to hear it too. Come on,
sure. I'm sure they want to hear it. Everybody wants to hear it
us here
until they actually do hear it, and then. So I'll even show you the page with it in the book here. So here's the page. Incidentally, before we go to the song, I don't know if you've ever seen a children's book like this before, but we actually have a user discretion page on the front cover that warns parents or readers that this might not be the absolute best book to read just before bedtime, because there are a lot of shenanigans in it. But we cover ourselves here with that.
Hey, Chops, we need one of those before this show. You
absolutely should have one on this show, because this is definitely bait and switch. But all right, so here we go. Now, how many people do you have on showing right now that are watching us?
Well, I'd say a little over 100 live, and then we'll usually end up with about 10,000.
Okay, so after I sing this, if you drop down to about 3 people, that means it's my wife, my mother, and that whoever that other person was, Carrie, that obviously likes pain.
Listen, Kristen and Sandra and Kelly and Kerry, they're all like, come on, come on.
Yeah, Sandra's my mother, so
the
she has
suspense
to
is
say
killing
that.
us. The suspense is killing us.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm just a little lamb, look at me. I'm just a little lamb, cute as can be. I'm just a little lamb, my daddy loves me. I'm just a little lamb, he tickles me.
Wow. Wow, you scared me there. You scared me there for a second.
There you go.
I was jumping back in my seat, you know.
There you go. All right, so how
Wow,
many viewers are we on still? Do we still have 100 or did we lose that?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We're still
Okay,
all right.
all right, good.
Hey,
All
you know,
right.
you said something about you couldn't carry a tune. I mean, that was pretty good. I don't know, man. I think that was pretty good, Chops.
Yeah, it was real good. I like it.
All right, well, I mean, if you want to go out on the road after with this, Chops, we can talk. I mean,
Yeah, you know,
we'll be fine.
yeah, you can do a little backup.
we'll have to talk up. We'll talk after the show. All right, so I want to show you this right here. That's really nice. That's the front of the book right there. It says by Ed Pacheco, illustrations by Christina Young right there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the detail work in her and everything that she does. And I mean, even the fur on the cat, it's just, she really nailed so much detail work.
Yeah, very detailed.
Like in one part of the book, there's the cat and they have their food dish. She's even got the cat's name on the food dish. Like, she really nailed it when it came to detail.
Wow.
But we also hid some stuff in the book. As I think I mentioned to you earlier, I was born in Fall River, but my hometown is New Bedford. I grew up in New Bedford. And then about 25 years ago or so, I moved to Dartmouth. So kind of as a little nod to my 2 hometowns, I hid Easter eggs in the book with respect to New Bedford and Dartmouth. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but they're in there. And I had fun doing it.
Hey, Ed, John O'Brien just typed in, my ears.
I told you. I told you. You know, I cannot be responsible for your loss of viewership. You asked for it. So.
No, we're good at that on our own. We don't need any help.
Yes, by that monologue, I would agree. You are correct.
Oh gosh! Now, actually, the release, right? We want to make sure people understand, like, when they can get the book in paperback and
we should tell people about that, huh?
Yeah, that would be good.
The pre-release date, the official pre-release date, is actually tomorrow.
Look at that! What? See, we booked you the day before. See, you know,
sync, in sync. But you can actually go on to Amazon right now. If you type in Ed Pacheco, you're going to get presented with a couple of options. You've got the paperback copy in English. You've got the hardcover in English. But because of the community that we're in, I thought it was important that, we foster childhood literacy as much as possible. So I worked with 2 phenomenal translators, and we actually translated Little Lamb Shenanigans into both Portuguese and Spanish.
Nice.
So for our families in the area that speak Portuguese or Spanish at home, they too can, share in bedtime reading or lap reading with their children. And I thought that was super special. But if you bring up Ed Pacheco on Amazon, it should give you the option of either the English, Spanish, or Portuguese options.
Right.
So,
well, that's great, Ed. We're really happy that this, this came to fruition. and it all kind of came together, and I'm really proud of it. And I think, the fact that it was written by a local author, and, you have touches of the community in there, and it is kind of humorous. The kids will get a kick out of it. I mean, I think it's a different kind of accomplishment. And hey, I think you should be congratulated for having had it all come together like that.
I appreciate that. I really do. I was in it for the long run. It started out as a vanity project for my children to be able to give them a memory of their childhood. And, it really turned into, something tangible. Like this book will be in the Library of Congress. It's already there.
Nice.
Which is in perpetuity. So someday, God being grace, someone could say, I want to see my great grandfather's book, and go down there if there's not a copy around. Or, my thought now, and somebody said this to me the other day, is like, you don't realize it, but this book could be someone's child's favorite book at some point in the future.
Right.
And that just warms your heart, man.
Wonderful.
To know that something that brought your own children joy could bring other people's children joy.
Ed, thanks a lot for being with us tonight on the show. We really appreciate it, and you have a great sense of humor. Thank you for coming in.
It was a really pleasant experience. I'm still going to fire my booking agent because it was supposed to be Jimmy Fallon, but I'm glad that we're here, and I'm glad that we had some laughs.
All right. Thank you very much. Ed Pacheco, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to have a little bit more with Chops with Picture of the Week, but right now we're going to play a clip of Chops singing a song. First person to identify the song wins dinner for two at the Cask and Pig restaurant. Okay. Chops doesn't even know what song it is.
I don't.
All I can say is it's one of Chops' favorites. Chops sings this one all the time. So again, just type in the name of the song and the artist, and you win dinner for two at the Cask and Pig. And if nobody gets it, then Chops is going to go to dinner.
Yeah, I go to dinner.
Chops is like secretly hoping that nobody gets it. But again, name of the song and the artist. Here we go.
You never find it'll take in the war times someone who loves you tender like I do. Is that right? You'll never find, no matter where you search, you keep searching and searching your whole life through. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one who loves you, and there's no one else, no one else. Woo! Oh, I don't wish you no bad luck, baby, but there's no ifs and buts or maybes. You're gonna miss my love late in the midnight hour, baby, when it gets real cold outside. I know you're gonna miss my love.
Yeah, the great Chops Turner right there. That is one of your favorite songs, right, Chops?
Yeah, I like this song.
Well, we do have a winner. We do have a winner tonight.
You do?
So Chops won't be going to dinner.
Hey, thanks a lot, y'all.
John W. O'Brien III. It is.
All right.
And you'll never find it. I'm really sorry because we had an almost winner. Sandra Riveros Lopes said "You'll Never Find" by Luther Vandross. So close.
Close,
Sandra. So close, Sandra. I'm sorry. So it's going to have to go to John W. O'Brien. So I'll get in touch with John W. O'Brien after the show. Dinner for two at the Cask and Pig on the Paul Santos show. That's right, baby. That's all right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we have to get out. What's that?
Are you giving it out every Monday?
Well, we're going to try to give out something every Monday. Yeah.
I'll make sure I'll be here.
as long as we get restaurants that want to do it, sure, we'll do it. You know, you didn't even know what song's going to be on yourself. You know,
No, I didn't know it. No, stop. I ain't heard that in a long time.
I haven't heard that in a long time. You sing it like every 5 minutes. What are you talking about?
I know.
No, that's a great. I know you like to hit that. You'll never
Oh
find.
yeah, man.
Try to hit those low pipes there. You know.
Sometimes
So
it's hard. But it's hard to in the beginning of the night it's easy, but when it gets, you're singing up there, and then later on in the evening, it's hard to go down that to the low register.
Right. Well, I wanted to make sure that I had the right name of the song because, I didn't want to say that was the right name and it wasn't the right name. So obviously, You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine, Lou Rawls, So I just typed in Lou Rawls top songs, So, of course, that song came up. But then that was another one, Lady Love.
Oh, yeah, Lady Love.
Yeah, Lady Love, right? That was another one, yeah. So that was another one where
you
got to hit the low register. The low register, that's a tough one.
Low register, yeah.
All right, so let's get to the picture of the week. And this picture of the week is actually taken by the lovely Ann, who you sang happy birthday to at the beginning of the show.
Oh, wow, your wife.
Yeah, her and I were down in Mattapoisett one day at Ned's Point, and she has this camera video, device that's better than the one that you're looking at right now on that show. And it takes like really great sunsets right there. So that's actually Ned's Point in Mattapoisett. Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of great spots where you can watch, sunsets and things like that, So there you go. So what's going on with Mr. Chops before we sign off? Anything big going on? What's happening? I know I hate to bring this up, but you got the new tooth coming pretty soon, right?
You get the new tooth coming, man. I can't wait to get it, man. Oh my God, it looks so real. Wait till you see it.
So are you going to have the new tooth before you do these two sold out shows?
Oh, not before the show.
You better be careful. You got to be singing. The tooth's going to go flying.
Yeah, you'll never find. Where's that tooth at? Another tooth like mine.
Can somebody please find? Oh God!
Oh man!
Oh, man. No, that won't happen. That you get that temporary tooth in there that we talked about before, and that temporary tooth, that thing's solid, man. That thing's solid.
Yeah, it's solid, man.
Right in there. Gonna say right in there.
Amazon, anybody can get one.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I if that ever happens to me, I know who the expert is. You know what? I think. Look, I'm an attorney by day, although I don't do that kind of law. But hey, maybe you can be like you can be like the front man for Temp Tooth. We can put you on the.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
We can put you on the box there.
Yeah, put me on the box. Yeah.
It worked for Chops. It can work for you. Temp Tooth, baby.
Oh man,
that'll be good. Cut me in 10%.
Yeah, you got it, brother. Oh man. Oh man.
Hey, people make big money when they're the spokesperson for something.
That's right. That's the truth. Keep doing it, boy. We'll make it someday. In some way.
Hey man, that guy at Pacheco, man, he wrote the children's book, but he was slugging it out. It was pretty good. I'll tell you, man. It was great. I love that sense of humor. I do.
He got a great sense of humor, and he's a fiery guy. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. All right, so I want to take the opportunity to thank our guest. He's the author of The Little Lamb Shenanigans, Ed Pacheco, for being here tonight. All right. Next week, Chops, the awesome throwback band called Back in the Day. They play great music from back in the day, so that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, way back in the day. That's around the day that you and I we were around back in that day. Yeah. We're around back in that day and the day before that too. Man. All right. Well, thank you very much. It's always a good time, and we'll be looking forward to having you back here next week for another edition of our show. Thank you very much. Have a great night. We'll see you next Monday night for the PaulSantos Show. And don't forget to laugh. Good night.
Happy birthday, dear wife.